Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about different types of tax invoices that are issued at the time of supply. But before I start my video, please don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel so that you can get further videos for the same topic. First one, tax invoice. If a registered person is making supplies or receiving supplies from unregistered person, then a invoice needs to be issued by such registered persons. That means in what circumstances tax invoice is issued. So whenever person is making supplies or receiving supplies from unregistered person, then a tax invoice needs to be issued by such registered person. That means in another word you can also say that when person is supplying taxable goods or services or both, then in that case tax invoice needs to be issued. So it is a simple procedure. Whenever you are supplying goods or services or both, then you have to issue the tax invoice. Revised tax invoice. A registered person may, within 1 month from the date of issuance of certificate of registration, issue a revised invoice against the invoice already issued during the period beginning with the effective date of registration till the date of issuance of registration certificate to him. That means he is not registered yet, but now he has registered his business because he crossed his turnover limit. So now within 1 month he has to. Let us understand with the one example. Suppose a person has started his business on 1st April. Now he crossed threshold limit on 3rd September. That means his business crossed the threshold limit that is applicable. If he is selling goods, then 20 lakh or 40 lakh. If he is supplying services, then 20 lakh. And in some special cases, it is 10 lakh. So let us take he has crossed the limit on 3rd September. Now he is liable for registration on 3rd September. Why? He is liable for registration on 3rd September because his business crossed the limit on 3rd September. So he becomes liable for registration on 3rd September. Now and onwards, he has to apply for registration within 30 days. So he applied for registration on 29th September. That means within 30 days, he has already applied for the registration. That means after the completion of 30 days, he has not applied. He has applied before the completion. That is on 29th September. So in that case, registration granted on 6th October. Proper officer granted registration on 6th October. So now question arises, for on which date, what is the effective date of registration? Effective date of registration is 3rd September because he has applied within 30 days. So that is why now he has to issue a revised invoice. Now for what period he will issue the revised invoice? So remember, when he is liable for registration up to when he obtained the registration certificate. Okay, for this period, person issue revised tax invoice on 5th November in respect of the taxable supply effected between 3rd September to 6th October. यानी एक महीने के अंदर अंदर यानी 5th नवंबर तक उसको ये सारा का सारा सर्टिफिकेट, क्योंकि उसको रजिस्ट्रेशन ग्रांट कब हुआ था 6 अक्टूबर को, अब उसको 1 मंथ का टाइम मिलेगा, दैट इज 5th नवंबर तक, यानी उस टाइम पीरियड के द्वारा उसको अप्लाई कर देना है. Person issue revised tax invoice on 5th November in respect of taxable supplies effected between 3rd September to 6th October. यानी उसने 3rd September से लेके 6th October तक इनवॉइस इश्यू नहीं कर पाया होगा. क्यों नहीं कर पाया होगा? क्योंकि उसके पास जीएसटीएन नंबर ही नहीं था. क्योंकि उसको जीएसटीएन नंबर कब मिला? 6 अक्टूबर को मिला. अब जीएसटीएन नंबर ही नहीं होगा तो वो क्या कर सकेगा? वो 3rd सितंबर से लेके 6 अक्टूबर तक इनवॉइस रेज नहीं कर पाएगा. तो व्हाट ही विल डू, he will issue revised tax invoice mentioning the GSTN number, mentioning the tax detail on supplies made during this period. जितना भी सप्लाई ये टाइम के दरमियान हुआ है वो सारा का सारा सप्लाई के लिए वापस इनवॉइस इश्यू करेगा. तो इसीलिए उसको रिवाइज्ड टैक्स इनवॉइस बोलते हैं. क्योंकि जब उसने सप्लाई किया तब उसने टैक्स नहीं कलेक्ट किया था, बिकॉज he has not obtained the registration certificate. But now he has obtained the registration certificate, so that is why अब उसको क्या करना पड़ेगा? टैक्स इनवॉइस को रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा within, because he has to mention the tax detail GST number in that. So this is the concept about revised tax invoice. Now what is bill of supply? If a registered person is dealing only in exempted goods or is availing the composition scheme, that is composition dealer, then bill of supply is to be issued in lieu of tax invoice. So there are certain cases or there are certain situations in which person cannot issue tax invoice. He has to issue bill of supply. Say for example, registered person is supplying exempted goods or services or both. So अगर वो exempted goods और services और दोनों सप्लाई करता है तो रेसिपिएंट के पास से टैक्स नहीं ले सकता, बिकॉज गुड या सर्विस जो भी सप्लाई कर रहा है वो तो exempted है. So there is no need to collect tax from the recipient. So if there is no need to collect tax from the recipient, so there is no need to issue a tax invoice. So that is why what he will do, he will issue a bill of supply in lieu of tax invoice. यानी टैक्स इनवॉइस के बदले में बिल ऑफ सप्लाई इश्यू करेगा. ये एक केस है. दूसरा केस है पेइंग टैक्स अंडर कंपोजिशन लेवी और रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन हु हैज ऑप्टेड टू पे टैक्स अंडर नोटिफिकेशन नंबर 2/19. यानी व्हाट इज 2/19? दैट इज अल्टरनेट कंपोजिशन स्कीम. या तो उसने नॉर्मल कंपोजिशन स्कीम या तो अल्टरनेट कंपोजिशन स्कीम अडॉप्ट किया है. तो दैट मीन्स कंपोजिशन डीलर इज अ पर्सन हु कैन नॉट कलेक्ट टैक्स फ्रॉम द रिसिपिएंट एंड ही हैज टू राइट पर्सन नॉट लायबल और नॉट लायबल टू कलेक्ट टैक्स फ्रॉम द कस्टमर ऑन एवरी बिल ऑफ सप्लाई. वो अपने कस्टमर के पास से टैक्स नहीं ले सकता और इसीलिए उसको क्या सप्लाई करना पड़ेगा? उसको सप्लाई करना पड़ेगा बिल ऑफ सप्लाई. यानी वो इश्यू करेगा बिल ऑफ सप्लाई. टैक्स इनवॉइस वो इश्यू नहीं कर सकता इस केस में भी, क्योंकि वो कंपोजिशन डीलर में एडॉप्ट किया है, यानी उसने कंपोजिशन स्कीम चूज किया है. सो इस केस में वो कस्टमर के पास से टैक्स कलेक्ट नहीं कर सकता, इसलिए उसको बिल ऑफ सप्लाई इश्यू करना पड़ेगा. सो दीज आर दी टू सिचुएशन in which he can issue bill of supply and not tax invoice. Once again, if he is supplying exempted goods, if he is paying tax under composition levy. So in that case, he will issue bill of supply. Now here it is important to note that no invoice if value of supply less than 200, invoice or bill of supply need not to be issued subject to certain condition, terms and condition. That means if person is supplying goods or services or both of less than 200 rupees, then there is no need to issue a tax invoice or bill of supply. यानी अगर वैल्यू 200 से कम है तो कंपलसरी नहीं है. बट यहाँ पे एक नोट याद रखना, registered person who supply goods or services shall issue a consolidated tax invoice for such supplies at the close of each day irrespective of all such supplies. यानी हर एक सप्लाई के बाद एक दिन जब खत्म होता है ना, जब एट द एंड ऑफ ईच डे ही कैन इशू अ कंसोलिडेटेड टैक्स इनवॉइस, यानी एक सारा कंसोलिडेटेड टैक्स इनवॉइस बना सकता है, अलग अलग अमाउंट का एक सारा अमाउंट का समरी बना के एक कंसोलिडेटेड इनवॉइस इशू कर सकता है. तो एक प्रोविजन है. So that is another types of voucher, that is consolidated invoice. Now receipt voucher. Registered person on receipt of advance payment with respect to any supply of goods or services shall issue a receipt voucher or any other document evidencing receipt of such payment. That means अभी goods and service supply नहीं हुआ है, but उसके रिस्पेक्ट में एडवांस में कुछ पेमेंट मिला है. ऑन रिसिप्ट ऑफ एडवांस पेमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एनी सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज और बोथ शैल इश्यू अ रिसिप्ट वाउचर और एनी अदर डॉक्यूमेंट एविडेंसिंग रिसिप्ट ऑफ सच पेमेंट. यानी ऐसा कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट जो ऐसा प्रूव कर देगा कि एडवांस में कुछ पेमेंट मिला है वो भी वैलिड है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड रिसिप्ट वाउचर. तो रिसिप्ट वाउचर में बहुत इजी है कि कोई गुड्स और सर्विसेज सप्लाई करने वाले उसके बदले में एडवांस में कुछ पेमेंट मिला है. सो दैट पेमेंट और दैट वाउचर इज नोन एज रिसिप्ट वाउचर. नाउ रिफंड वाउचर. वेयर ऑन रिसिप्ट ऑफ एडवांस पेमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एनी सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज और बोथ द रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन इशू अ रिसिप्ट वाउचर. जब भी आपको कोई गुड्स या सर्विस सप्लाई करने वाले हो उसके बदले में रेसिपिएंट आपको एडवांस में पेमेंट करता है, तो देन इन दैट केस यू विल इश्यू अ रिसिप्ट वाउचर. बट सब्सिक्वेंटली नो सप्लाई इज मेड एंड नो टैक्स इनवॉइस इज इश्यूड. बट बाद में अपने एडवांस पेमेंट तो ले लिया सप्लायर ने, बट सप्लायर ने उसके बदले में ना तो टैक्स इनवॉइस इश्यू किया या ना तो या गुड्स या सर्विसेज सप्लाई किया. द सेड रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन may issue to the person who had made the payment a refund voucher against such payment. तो अब क्या करना पड़ेगा, सप्लायर को रिफंड वाउचर इश्यू करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज अगेंस्ट रिसीव वाउचर he has received some payment but for that payment he has not supplied any goods or services or both. So in that case he has to issue the refund voucher to the recipient. Otherwise his tax liability will increase because he issue the receipt voucher. So to reduce the tax liability, what he can do, he can give amount back to the recipient by issuing a refund voucher. Now next bill or voucher is invoice cum bill of supply. Where a registered person is supplying taxable as well as exempted goods or services or both to an unregistered person, a single invoice cum bill of supply may be issued for all such supply. यानी invoice cum bill of supply कब issue होता है कि when he is supplying exempted goods as well as taxable goods. So then in that case exempted goods ऐसा goods है जिस पे टैक्स नहीं ले सकता, taxable goods ऐसा goods है जिस पे टैक्स लेने का है. So in that case what he can do, he can issue a invoice cum bill of supply. So both the things will be covered. So invoice cum bill of supply will, when it is to be issued, when registered person is supplying taxable goods as well as exempted goods. Next type is invoice oblique payment voucher to be issued by the recipient of supply liable to pay on reverse charge. A registered person who is liable to pay tax on reverse charge shall issue an invoice in respect of goods or services or both received by him from the supplier who is not registered on the date of receipt of goods or services or both. यानी यहाँ पे केस थोड़ा रिवर्स है, बिकॉज रिवर्स चार्ज एप्लीकेबल है. कौन इश्यू करता है इनवॉइस? रेसिपिएंट इश्यू करता है. Who is unregistered? Supplier is unregistered. So now section 9 subsection 3 and section 9 subsection 4 are applicable. So in that case, supplier is unregistered, or there are certain goods which is on which reverse charge applicable 9394 under 9394. That means what? Now recipient has to issue a invoice. So once again I am repeating the definition. A registered person who is liable to pay tax on reverse charge shall issue an invoice in respect of goods or services or both received by him from the supplier who is not registered on the date of receipt of goods or services or both. So supplier is unregistered and he is receiving some goods or services or both. Then in that case, recipient will issue the invoice or payment voucher. Now such registered person shall issue a payment voucher at the time of making payment to the supplier. So when it reverse receipt voucher is issued, when payment voucher is issued, so receipt voucher और पेमेंट वाउचर रेसिपेंट कब इश्यू होता है, कब करता है? तो जब रिवर्स चार्ज एप्लीकेबल होता है तब. नॉर्मल केस में सप्लायर विल इश्यू ऑल दी इनवॉइसेस, बट व्हेन रिवर्स चार्ज इज एप्लीकेबल then this voucher is issued by recipient and not by supplier. The registered person may issue a consolidated invoice at the end of the month. This provision also applies to bill of supply. और यहाँ पे एक बात ये है कि अगर रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन चाहे तो एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ कंसोलिडेटेड इनवॉइस भी इशू कर सकता है. तो याद रखना, इनवॉइस ऑब्लिक पेमेंट वाउचर टू बी इशूड बाय रेसिपिएंट ऑफ सप्लाई लायबल टू पे टैक्स ऑन रिवर्स चार्ज. जब रिवर्स चार्ज लगता है यानी पर्सन अनरजिस्टर्ड है 9394, तो इन दैट केस इनवॉइस और पेमेंट वाउचर इज टू बी इश्यूड.